Okay, you're going to need a couple of tools to help you disassemble the tool. You're going to need a hammer, some kind of a pin punch, a 3/32 Allen wrench that's fairly long, quarter 20 screw, and a pair of ratcheting retaining ring pliers. The first thing that you do is 90 degrees from the handle is the slot in the dash 18 housing. There's two set screws. You got to take one completely out and then back the other one off a couple of turns counterclockwise. There's the first one. Turn a couple of turns, and you can take out the 4 832 flathead screws to disassemble the front housing. Once you get the 4 flathead screws out, you can separate the dash 18 from the dash 1 body. And this is where you will need the retaining ring pliers to get out the main retaining ring that holds the 400-5 and piston assembly in. And you can remove the stop and the spring and the piston. Then you have to remove the rear 400-29 booster cap to disassemble the rear piston. And this is where you need the quarter 20 screw to screw in to have something to pull on. And you can take some, we recommend a synthetic O-ring grease. And there's an O-ring on the inside of the handle you need to put some in. And then the rear piston, you just coat the outside of the ring, and also there's an O-ring on the cycling valve. Then you can assemble the rear piston back in. And also in the booster cap, there's an O-ring that has a face that you need to put some O-ring lube on. And you can screw the booster cap back onto the tool. Take the hammer to push the front rod down, the rear rod, and lubricate the front piston valve and also the outside of the O-ring on the piston. And then you just assemble the piston rod back into the tool until it bottoms out. And then you put in the front return spring and the stop. You might need help to have somebody help you push it down, but you have to push it all the way down with the stop to lock the ring in. And the punch is just to make sure that the ring is seated in. Once you know, it clicks usually when it goes in the groove. And then you have to apply air to the tool to be able to get the front piston rod connected to the mechanism that holds the arms. And point it away, never face anybody to make sure that the piston works. And this is where you have to have the forward stroke in the tool to be able to assemble the dash 18 on. You need something to tap it down in to make sure that the anchor and the piston rod are completely, there's no gap. Then you can go ahead and tighten the main set screw onto the piston rod. Then you want to put the second one in, and we put a little bit of blue Loctite on the screw. Make sure that it doesn't back off while the tool's being used. And you tighten it all the way down And don't torque it too much because the Loctite will hold it. And make sure the screw holes are lined up with the flathead screws. And you can put the screws back in. And then you should be good to go. And there you have the tool being lubricated and it's back into working order. That's it.